Both academic and extracurricular activities are disciplined and developed through education. Through education, a person learns to read, write, talk, practice activities, and develop other abilities. Education makes a person self-sufficient and autonomous. Learning is a component of education and may be learned from anyone, including an ant, who teaches us to keep trying until we succeed.
A dictionary is a book that contains an alphabetical list of words. People who want to learn any language will find it highly useful. Knowing the spelling, usage, meaning, and pronunciation of a term is beneficial. It also aids in the development of one's vocabulary. Samuel Johnson authored the first English dictionary. To complete his work, he had to overcome numerous obstacles.
You and your classmates will sit through a lecturer's presentation or discussion of a particular subject while taking notes. Because there will be a lot of material presented in this session, it is critical that you take good notes and plan ahead if you want to ask any questions. Lectures are the primary mode of instruction at your university.
The physical location of a restaurant in the competitive landscape of the city has long been known as a major factor in its likely success or failure. Once restaurants are established in such environments, they can do little about their location. All they can do is work to improve customer access to their premises. Restaurateurs often do this by engaging in battles with local authorities about car parking.
Although music based on protein structure has been used by scientists in recent years to better communicate the importance of scientific research, the results have not always been pleasing to the ear. Using the style of current music genres as a guide, researchers have found a way to make protein song more melodious.
It wasn't until May 3 that Lincoln signed an executive order boosting the number of the regular armed forces and Navy by another 40,000 men. This appears to be a violation of the Constitution in both cases mentioned. Despite its importance, this conclusion is comprehensible in some circumstances since energy efficiency is only one facet of sustainability in building operations. As a result, even if a building is energy efficient, it may not be deemed environmentally friendly because of its shoddy construction.
It's a frequent cliché that everyone likes a winner, but the truth is that most people dread losing more than they enjoy winning, and it takes a lot to get us to take a chance. In a Princeton University study, psychologists and economists showed that individuals avoid wagering money in a 50-50 situation unless they can gain twice as much as they lose, which is the case here. Disintegration control endeavors have dependably been of outrageous significance. Submerged weirs divert the most harming streams, and the highest point of the falls have additionally been fortified. In June 1969, the Niagara River was redirected far from the American Falls for a while through the development of an impermanent shake-and-earth dam.
Years later, poor mental health outcomes are linked to incidents of sibling bullying. There is a long-term influence on both good and poor mental health from sibling bullying in early adolescence, regardless of whether an individual was a victim, perpetrator, or both at the same time. Although movie critics have never considered George Lucas an auteur, for untold millions of Star Wars fans he remains an unrivaled fount of entertainment. Peter Jackson, director of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, has said that Mr. Lucas is the Thomas Edison of the modern film industry. Our study's goal was to determine the effects of early household relocation on the development of preschoolers. Families opt to relocate for a variety of reasons, some of which are favorable and others that are less so. A dictionary is a book that contains an alphabetical list of words. People who want to learn any language will find it highly useful. Knowing the spelling, usage, meaning, and pronunciation of a term is beneficial. It also aids in the development of one's vocabulary. Samuel Johnson authored the first English dictionary. To complete his work, he had to overcome numerous obstacles.
The advantages of being able to communicate in more than one language are numerous. Children who are fluent in more than one language develop a sensitivity to the perspectives of those with whom they are conversing. Decisions like this demonstrate a high degree of social sophistication. There's a tendency for people to misinterpret each other and themselves when it comes to love. A closer examination of our mind's unconscious processes, however, reveals that they really make sense. How would you feel about riding your bike solo from the United Kingdom to China for months? Pete Jones, a British biker, is used to rough camping and cycling great miles across difficult terrain. Mr. Jones is now traveling across the Eurasian continent from the United Kingdom to China.
Species, age, sex, and size of the birds were all taken into consideration. And they discovered that the brains of the hunted specimens were on average 5% smaller than the brains of birds who perish by other methods. In a smaller investigation of liver or heart size, there appears to be no difference. This is startling. So this is a brain-specific issue.
Wellington is located on the Cook Strait, which separates the North and South Islands, at the southwestern extremity of the North Island. On a clear day, the snow-capped Kaikoura Ranges may be seen over the sea to the south. Wellington is the world's southernmost capital city, at 41 degrees south latitude.
Mark was a man who used to do intriguing social experiments. One of them involves stealing umbrellas from restaurants without permission. On rainy days, he usually goes into the restaurant and claims to have forgotten his umbrella the day before. The employee leads him to the collection of lost umbrellas without more ado. He smiles as he selects one and walks away.
For Clemenson, the real question was whether Trump's assertion of question dodging was historically true or not. Since 1996 to 2012 there were 14 presidential debate transcripts reviewed by Clemenson. Democrats and Republicans both made allegations of question dodging, totaling 51 in all.